Hey guys, Dr. Brown here, and tonight we're looking at the coolest method ever to factor quadratics. I did not come up with this method. I saw it 2 days ago and I want to share it with you, but it came from a gentleman on outlier.org. Go to their site and just look up new methods to factor quadratics, and you'll see the gentleman did an excellent job describing it. I will not do as well as he did, so please check them out. But I want to show you the method that he described. Let's assume we have x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. What we've been taught to do would be draw the lines here, come up with the factors of this negative 6, two factors that multiply together to give me negative 6, that add together to give me negative 5. Okay, so the factors we know of 6, there's 3 and 2. 3 times 2 is 6. I could have a negative 3 and a positive 2. Negative 3 times positive 2 gives me this negative 6 that we're after. But when I add negative 3 to a positive 2, I get a negative 1. I don't get negative 5. So we would say, well, okay, we've still got 6 times 1. I could have a negative 6 times a positive 1 gives me negative 6. Negative 6 times, or minus, negative 6 plus 1 gives me negative 5. Hey, that could be it. So let's factor the x. That's x times x. This negative 6, I'm going to make it negative 6 times 1. We cross multiply. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x. 1 times x is a positive x. Multiply these two together gives me x squared. Add these. This is negative 6 plus negative 6x plus a positive x gives me minus 5x. Negative 6 times a positive 1 gives me negative 6. So I have negative x squared minus 5x minus 6. So I end up with these factors that say this is x minus 6 times x plus 1 equals 0. So I know x equals 6 or x equals negative 1. That would give me a 0 here or a 0 there. Multiply together gives me the desired 0. That's the way I was taught to factor. Now obviously there's the quadratic equation, okay? But outside of that, what if you had, and this was the equation that he used. This was so cool. All right, you can tell I'm excited. X squared minus 60x plus 899 equals 0. Now the gentleman made the comment, well, didn't your multiplication tables go up through 899? And the answer is no. Okay, they went through 10 by 10. I think it was the Babylonians, he said, theirs went up to 60 by 60. So they would know how to factor that, okay? All right, so instead of trying to figure out the multiples, what multiplies together to give you 899, why not work with the addition on this one? Why don't we work with the factors that add together to give me 60? All right, so having said that, if we were to just factor this normally, we would say x minus something times x minus, I'll put a different size box here to let you know that it's two different numbers. Okay? That's what if we factor this, and obviously that equals 0. Now this term times this term, I have a negative box minus times another negative different box would give me a positive 899. That's the plan. And then, you know, this term, you know, this box, negative box x, negative other box x need to add together to give me a negative 60x. Well, if I look at 60, that's 30 plus 30. You know, it could be 20 plus 40, I think was the other example he gave. So you can tell if I'm going one direction, as long, you know, from 30 I want a negative 10 this way. If I go 10 that way, I can still add those two numbers up to get 60. So since 30 is the middle, he used the example, why not say 30 minus u? So I'm going one direction. The other direction is 30 plus u. And those two numbers multiplied together to give me 899. Okay, so let's just FOIL this out. 30 times 30 is 900 plus 30u minus 30u minus u squared equals 899. Well, 30u minus 30u, those cancel. I'm left with 900 minus u squared equals 899. If I subtract 899 from both sides, 900 minus 899, and then add u squared to both sides, so that u squared would cancel, that would cancel. So 900 minus 899 is 1. 1 equals u squared. So u equals plus or minus 1. Oh, let's just take the positive 1 for just a moment. 30, so that's u. U minus 1 is 29. 30 plus 1 is 31. So it's saying the number that goes in here is 29 and 31. Well, that should give me what, let's see what we have here. We'd have, let's FOIL it, so we'd have x squared minus 31x minus 29x plus, these negative times negative is a positive, 31 times 29, 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, that's 998, hey, 899. So that allowed me then to factor this using this method by looking at what it takes the addition associated with that number rather than the factoring of the multiplication of that number. Now you might say, well, what about the negative? Okay, 30, let's use a negative 1, minus 1, and then this would be 30 minus 1, it's plus or minus. So minus minus is plus 1, so this number ends up being 31, this one ends up being 29, so they would just swap. Is that not cool? That's my new method for factoring quadratics. And again, this was from Outlier, O-U-T-L-I-E-R, outlier.org. And look for new ways to factor quadratics and you'll find them. And the gentleman did an excellent job. He went on to use other problems that would have been crazy for us to do. Well, we could have worked them, but This method made it a lot easier. Okay guys, why are we doing this? Together we're trying to build a better tomorrow and do that through math. So keep studying, study the new method, practice with it, and then comment me, and let's get together and work a few problems, okay? All right, let's talk to you next time. Thanks.